Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making.
Ọnwa December n'oru ego, Ọnwa December n'oru, my brother, ọnwa eji enwe aṅụrị. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving you all. I think this is the perfect time for this Thanksgiving. Anybody that originated this Thanksgiving has sense, because this is the time you look back, checks and balances, and for me, I'm grateful. I'm thankful for life, for good health, for provision, for the roof over our head. And I think you should too, because yes, we might not be where we want to be, but we are obviously not where we used to be. And trust me, wherever you are, it might not be where you want to be, but it's somebody's testimony. I'm telling you. And personally, no, I'm thankful. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thankful for everything. I'm thankful for my family, and I'm thankful for you guys for being there for me, for always watching my videos, for your likes, for your comments, for your feedbacks, everything. I'm thankful. So tell me what you are thankful. What are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? So guys, yeah, enough of the rambling. It's not rambling, it's reality. I'm so grateful. So today is a story time. Hello. This is a story time, and it's something that happened to me many years ago when I was in high school. Yeah, it's high school, right? Secondary school, many years ago. And it was during Christmas period, December period, not 25th, precisely. I think it should be around 22nd, 21st, 22nd or 23rd. I don't know. So it was that period everybody was preparing to travel home for Christmas. So for me, if you remember, if you have been following me, I've mentioned here that when I was in high school, when I was a teenager, my parents didn't allow us to make hair. We used to barb our hair. Reasons that they felt that if we make hair, it's going to distract us. You'll be thinking of the style when you're supposed to be reading. I don't know how that is possible. Yeah, that was what they thought. So because of that, we never made hair, when we're in high school. But there's this particular period, of course, that we need to make hair. And that is December period, where you have to travel to your village. And most of the time, what we make is these tiny braids, as tiny as this one. You can see, very tiny. That's what we used to make at that time, and we call it 1 million braids. That's what we used to call it at that time. So that's what we usually make December period. So that particular December, my sister and I went to make our hair. And this is not one person that will make the hair, 2 people. Despite the fact that it's 2 people, it will take hours. Okay, so we went to make our hair that Christmas period. So when my parents finished, because where we meant to make this hair is like a city. We live like 20 minutes drive to the city. That's where you can buy bulk stuff, where you can buy reasonable things. Where we live, we have a mini market, but the main market is in the city. So that's where we usually go. So when my parents finished, they came to pick us. But when they came, my sister had finished, but they were still making my hair. It was remaining small. So my parents had other things they wanted to do. So my sister with them, and they gave me transportation fare. Do you understand? So they are giving me that because I'm used to that route. Because in those days, we start very early to run errands. Like somebody like me, I started cooking at the age of 8. In those days, we start, running errands on time. So most of the time, my mother can just give me money to just run down to, that place to buy. So them giving me money, to go back home at that time wasn't strange. It's a normal thing. So when they said when I finished, I should start coming home, then they left with my sister. So when I finished, it was around, this day here, we started around in the afternoon. So by the time I finished making my hair, it was around, say, 6:37. It wasn't dark, but it was evening, okay? So when I finished, going to take a taxi, that period, like I said, is very rowdy. So people were everywhere on the street, on the road, waiting for a taxi as well. So I saw this woman, decently dressed, Christianly decently dressed. She tied, scarf on her hair, all this, covered all her hair, wearing flowing gown, like decently dressed, like a mother. That person, if I'm not mistaken, should be around maybe her 50s at that time. So she saw me and asked me of the name of a street, if I knew a particular place, and I hadn't heard that kind of name before. And I told her, no, ma, I don't know that place. So immediately she asked, there was this man beside me. So she now asked the man. So I didn't, pay attention whether the man knew or something like that. The man, I don't know what the man answered, but the next thing I heard, the man was, because the man was here and she was here, the man was talking to her, coming close to her and coming close to me. So immediately the man was just telling her whether she has a brother that, the man started prophesying to her, whether she has a brother that is sick, she wants to go to the hospital and all that, Then after that, the man turned to me and started telling me stuff. I can't remember everything he said, but one thing that he said that led to is that he said that he looked at me and said that your father is a businessman. I said yes. And he said, wow, some people bought those materials in bulk. I said I don't know, because obviously I'm not with my, I don't know. He now said yes, that some people came and bought sexal in large quantity. And no. He said that they bought that money, they bought that, they bought that thing they bought in large quantity. They paid my father with blood money. And if that blood money is not removed, that is going to cause havoc in my family that Christmas period. Me, I was scared. And I thought, because the information he was giving me, all of them were accurate. So he said that they need to destroy it. So why he was saying that, like I said, that place was rowdy. So he now said, this place is rowdy, so that I can be hearing what they were saying. They said, let's shift to this side. So when we shifted to that side, and they were still telling me, and he mentioned where my father keeps money as well. Accurate. So when we moved to that place that was a bit quiet, he now said, he mentioned the amount of money that they bought the thing. Very huge amount of money. That was when I started suspecting them, like because I know that if somebody should buy that, should give my father that kind of money, there's no way he can bring it home. Do you understand? So, and again, I started noticing that the man will now talk to the woman, then come back and talk to me. That's when we shifted to that lonely place. But that was when I started suspecting them. Then when he now mentioned that amount of money, then at some point I now recognized that these people might be ritualists, or they might be killers, or they might be kidnappers. I became scared. But one thing I didn't do, I said, I don't know if they're dangerous. If I raise alarm, because that place, you might raise alarm, Africa now, you might raise alarm and everybody will start running. And at the end of the day, maybe when they run to different areas, the people that maybe kidnapped you will still take you and run. So many things were running through my mind. And again, I now saw somebody that knew my parents. So when they were coming close, I was thinking, maybe if they greet me, how our elders then behave. They will now ask you, how are your parents? So my plan was, if they ask me, how are your parents and all, I will tell them, maybe I will find something and tell them, maybe that will make them, observe that I'm in trouble, that kind of thing. But they just greeted me and passed. How? I'm like, what is wrong? Is it that these people did jazz? That these people did not recognize me, or didn't know who? Because normally I know that in those days, our aunts, they will not, especially when they see with a male or somebody strange, they want to know, where are you going to with these people? But these people, they just greeted me and left. Like 2 or 3 of them, they passed. Wow, I was thinking, what have I gotten myself into? And I was just moving with them where they were still talking. At that time, I knew the environment. I was, like I said, is a place I'm used to. And I have a relation that lives around there. So my plan was, if these people continue doing this, I get to a point that I don't recognize that place, I must run. Let anything that will happen, happen. But fortunately for me, God heard my secret, my innermost prayer and what I was thinking. So immediately the man came to me and said, do you want to save your family? I said, yes. He said, are you ready to bring that money? I said in my mind, I'll say, yes. Because when I was thinking maybe these people did jazz, because what they were telling me, anything they say, I would say yes. Anything they say. So I was like, maybe they felt they did something and I was just, answering them. Maybe they feel they had hold on me, but inside of me, I knew exactly what I was doing. I was thinking of how to escape, but I didn't want to do it in a way that it will fall back on me. So they now said, are you ready to save your family? Are you ready to bring the money? I said, yes. They said, okay, go to the wardrobe. That was where they said my father went. And that was exactly where my father used to keep money that time. They said, go to the wardrobe. At so point, that's where your father kept that particular money. Bring it, we'll be waiting for you so that we'll pray and prophesy and destroy the money. I said, okay, thank you very much. So they now led me. I entered the taxi. While I was in the taxi, I was just looking at myself, whether I was still normal, whether I was still going to, recognize my environment and all. That was how I stopped and got to my house. I explained to my mother. My mother was so thankful. She was scared and rejoicing and thanking God at the same time, But my father didn't take it well. Though he didn't beat me, he was just scolding me. He said all these things every day. Yes, truly, they used to tell us about kidnappers to be careful and all. But the thing is just that as a child, I was expecting kidnappers or killers to be a certain way. I expect them to wear black glasses, dress in a certain way. But these people that I saw, they didn't look anything close to kidnapper. I believe that was what, deceived me as a child, that time. So my father scolded me and all. But thank God, I don't know whether they did anything. Maybe they did, but God in heaven. A lot of things I said I'm grateful for. If something had happened to me, maybe they did something and God in me, he that is in me, that is greater than he that is in them, pull the thing out. It's possible, because I don't know how they would have released me just like that, or maybe they felt that, because if not, because that thing they did, for them to release me, they feel maybe whatever they did had hold on me. Because you cannot release somebody like that and expect the person will just bring the father's money and come back. Do you understand? Or whatever. But I'm grateful that nothing happened and I came back, alive, healthy, and nothing like that. Or everything was just wash, scam. There's a popular adage my father used to say that when something happens and you escape from it, and it will be like something did not happen. He used to say it in my dialect, in my language. He said, "Ihe memeha or diko nwe ihe meren." Something like that happened, and I just came back just like that. And it's as if something didn't happen. Somebody else would have maybe be a victim and never return. So that's one of the things I'm grateful. But the main purpose again for this video is, if you have family obviously in Africa or anywhere, tell them this festive period is is very delicate. Many years ago, from what we hear now, life was more peaceful then than now, considering the things that we're hearing. Or if you're somebody that wants to travel, please be careful. They don't write their names or what they represent on their forehead or the way they dress. Just be at alert, be watchful, and I believe God that led us, will bring us all back safely from anywhere we travel to, bring us back safely. But the point of this gist or this story time is for us to be careful. Share this video if you have anybody that is traveling. Look at what happened years ago. You can imagine what can happen now, but it's not our portion though, but we have to trade with caution. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story time, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, so that you'll be gingering me now to be bringing this thumbs up and this likes and subscribe has a way of intentionally bringing up content, ideas for us. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my very next one. Again, happy Thanksgiving and happy Xmas in advance. See ya. Bye.